Good evening, good evening. How are you? How are you? I see you, John. I see you, my brother, the eagle of Kolwezi. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody? Greeting in your time zone. Hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. Long time. Huh?
Amen. Long time. Yes, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, thank God we didn't have a problem. I was worried.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but it's good. I added you as my friend, so
Yeah,
that helped.
let
Yeah,
me fix it
yeah,
so that I can put in a
yeah.
good
I
position.
know. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We have our Uncle Mark in the house today. Uncle Mark in the house from Congo.
Yeah, here we
Zambia
are.
Congo.
Congo, Zambia, one Congo,
Zambia
one Zambia, one
Congo.
nation, one
Yes,
people.
yes. Welcome, welcome. Share in your groups, invite everyone. I'll take a few minutes to share, and you can just greet our guests and introduce yourself as I share in my group. So over to you.
Yeah, my name is Mark Lushimba from the Congo. I'm known as Aigle de Kolwezi, that's in French. In English, that means Kolwezi Eagle. This is my media name. I make videos, and I've already spoke to you in the past. I was on your show twice or three times, 2 times or 3 times, I think. We spoke about Congo, Zambia, some politics and some of the stuff, the border issues, you know. I'm back today so that we can see what's going on in our region. We need to talk about that.
Yes, thank you, comrade. We are here to catch up. It's been a while. I think it's a year ago
Yeah.
since you were last here, and
Okay.
we welcome you to the show. A lot has happened
Yeah.
since the last time we had you on our show, and in Zambia, things are we are surviving. It's been a roller coaster
I
since the
know the
yes,
situation. I've been
yes.
following.
Uh-huh.
Zambia is now shaking.
Yes, yes. We our democracy is diminishing.
Mm-hmm.
Our economy is worst hit. People are buying meal,
Yeah.
at astronomical prices. We are hit by a drought. We were hit
Yes.
with the cholera crisis. So it's just been one thing after the other for Zambia.
Yeah. Those are
Ah,
signs that something is not good
yes,
and something should be
yes,
fixed in the country.
yes. So we are here, guys. Share in your groups, invite people. When we reach 100, we get started. So share in your groups. So we reach 100. I'm sharing myself here. So we have our special guest from Congo. I have the questions for him, but before we get to the questions, I would like you to share some information about Congo, the history of Congo. The thing is, a lot of us don't know about Congo because of the language barrier. A lot of things that happen in Congo, we don't know because you guys' official language is French. So can you give us a brief history of the Congo and what is happening before we get started to the questions that we are going to discuss?
Okay. So thank you very much, Sister Pumi. Congo is known to the world as one of the richest countries when it comes to minerals. But unfortunately, the people, the Congolese themselves, are amongst the poorest in the world. The Congo we have today, the borders were set up at the Berlin Conference in 1885 by the Europeans, the Western powers, when they wanted to come and divide and share Africa. And Congo is what? That means it's a set of tribes. Normally, we have 450 tribes in the Congo.
Oh my God.
Yes.
450? That's too much.
Yes, 450 tribes make Congo.
Wow.
And we share the border with Zambia. It's on the southern part of the Congo, and that should be the northern part of Zambia. And yes, when you're going to the northern part of Zambia, that means you're heading to the Congo.
So we share northwestern and northern.
Yes.
And northeastern, so yes.
This country was colonized by the Belgians for 80 years. Those are the guys who shaped a new kind of administration. And during that time, Congo was exploited a lot by the same white people because they found a lot of minerals. Congo is rich in minerals, flora, fauna. We have one of the greatest rivers in Africa, Congo River. So Congo has almost everything. Congo is a world in itself. And the Belgians, they were very happy to be amongst the luckiest guys in the West to be the colonizers of the Congo. So at the end of 80 years of colonization, they didn't want to go back. They didn't want to relinquish the Congo to the Congolese people. That was the beginning of trouble. And then in 1960s, in many African countries, that was the time of independence. And the Belgians, they were not ready to go home. So they started now creating ambushes, confusion. And during that time, the Congolese people, they organized themselves in groups and political parties. And one guy showed up as a prominent politician, Patrice Emery Lumumba. He was the prime minister. Congo was a democracy. The name was the Democratic Republic of the Congo after independence. Our forefathers called it Democratic Republic of the Congo. And they wanted to put a democratic system in place. When the Belgians were there, they were calling it the Belgian Congo, you see. And then they voted everything very well, and it was the parliament that could bring forth the chief of the government. After a good election, Patrice Lumumba was elected as the first prime minister of the independent Congo in a very democratic system. And the Belgians were not happy. They decided to kill our democracy. And they started maneuvering. They brought a lot of mercenaries from the West, dropped them in the Congo, put Mobutu on the seat as a dictator. They wanted to give the power to Mobutu. Mobutu was not prepared in anything. He was just a simple soldier, you know. And then they brought chaos in the Congo, pushing one tribe against another one, and there was a confusion until Lumumba was accused of being a communist, just a lie. They paid a lot of money to some politicians in the Congo, corrupting them, and then the war started. Katanga was financed to get itself away from the Congo to become a country. Katanga was so rich, and Katanga is the closest province to the Copper Belt. Katanga and Copper Belt will share the border, and that was one land in the past, the land of Zambezi. Lunda Empire. We are the same people, the same kings, the same chiefs. We're speaking the same language, all of us. It's the British people who cut one part, it became Zambia, and another part became the Congo. That's how we have Kazembe on both.
So you are on mute. You are on mute. Mute.
Can you hear me now? Yes, someone was calling me. That's the reason.
All right.
And this is our history. Are they just the same people? It's about the British people pulling one part aside, the French-speaking guys taking one part, and then they put a border in the middle. And that's how we got separated.
So yourself, which part of Congo do you come from?
I'm from the Katanga.
Oh, okay. So you are a Kazembe. You are part of the Mwata Kazembes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mwata Yava.
Mwata Yamba.
Mwata Yava is my chief.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, someone is typing a message. Give me a second.
Okay. Welcome, yes. Guys.
All that land was the Lunda Empire before the coming of the Europeans. It started from the Congo, it went to Angola before it became Angola. And then one part went to what is Zambia today. That was the land of Mwanta Yamfo, Mwantiav. And Mwantiav put some people as governors. It was like a confederate. That was not a kingdom. That was an empire, Lunda Empire. That means Mwanta was like the president of the United States of America today. And Mwanta Kazembe in Zambia was like a governor of a state. That's why they're calling those people Mushidi. Kazembe, Mushidi. Mushidi, that means you're a governor. Every Mushidi was a representative of the great emperor Yav, Mwant Yav. So that was a very genius, great empire. And when white people came, they were like, come on, these people are so clever, intelligent, well organized. They couldn't believe that Africans could be organized in such big groups of entities called chieftaincy, kingdoms, empires. They were like, come on, if we leave these people alone, in the future, they're going to become a great people, great nation, great continent. It's a kind of a competition. No, we need to destroy it. That's why they came up with the idea of cutting Africa into pieces. Telling a Zambian guy that Congolese people are bad people. This is the border. Before you go to Zambia to see your uncle, your auntie, your brothers, you need a passport. Those people be speaking French. The other side, here in Zambia, we speak English. You Congolese, we don't like you. And Zambian people, what is it? After 60 years, Africa was divided into pieces. This is the kind of politics we have. Now, when came the independence, Belgian people, they didn't want to go. They destroyed our democracy. They killed our first leader, Lumumba. They put Mobutu, a dictator, in place. Mobutu started plundering the country for 32 years. And the same people put Mobutu there were telling us after 32 years that Congolese people, they cannot manage themselves. They are unable to do politics. As they always say about African people are unable to manage anything. No, we are trying to manage ourselves. We've been trying all along. But you Europeans, Westerners, as superpowers, your job is not to help us, to push us so that we could reach our progress. The job Europe, America, the West has been doing for many years is to destroy our politics, our economy, and our social living. They are specialists in that. After destroying you, they now stand aside and start saying, Zambian people are unable to create a modern society. Zambian people, you need our help. You know, they come and destroy your house, they burn your house, and then they stand aside. They come now, tomorrow as firefighters. Can we help you with money? Anything you want from America, from England, we can give you. Knowing that those are the guys who destroy the economy, your politics, your social life, and then they come to present you a new system. You see, this is what is happening in Africa. And then the very problem, before I stop, Congo is in trouble. It's not because Congolese people are stupid. No. Congolese people are clever, intelligent people. They can do something good for their country. And that is the fear of the West, to see clever people, intelligent people. If we leave them alone, no way, we're going to lose Congo. Congo is like a coffer with a lot of good stones. To control it, we need to make sure that these people are not free, politically, economically, socially, in many ways. And they've been destroying us. Whenever they see a good leader, they must kill him and impose on you a dictator. That's why they killed Lumumba. When Laurent Désiré Kabila came, he was a good guy. Laurent was killed. Why? Because he was a Lumumbist. He fled the Congo in 1964 when they killed Lumumba. After the killing of Lumumba, Kabila Laurent was the follower of Lumumba. That's why he ran away. And then in 1990s, when there was a change in the world, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, these so-called Western countries, they lied to the world. Please, now we're going to change the world. Democracy is going to be established everywhere. That's how some people, they started going back to their countries. South Africa was free, Namibia was free, Nelson Mandela was freed, Laurent Désiré Kabila also came back. And then he wanted to rebuild Congo with Patrice Lumumba's ideology. And the Americans, they saw in him a danger for their interests. That's why he was assassinated the same way Lumumba was assassinated. What is a little bit strange, it's 40 years, day after day. It's like Laurent Désiré Kabila was the reincarnation of Lumumba. On the same date, Lumumba was killed. That's the very date Laurent Désiré Kabila was killed, 40 years gap. And then the American people, they start now using Rwanda and Uganda to come and manage the Congo, pretending that Mobutu should go. Laurent is going to come back to, Laurent Désiré Kabila is going to come and take over. But since Mobutu is a bad guy, a bad boy, but the guys who made him bad are the same guys who are saying now he's bad. They push him away. They went to Rwanda and Uganda. They brought those people. And then that was the beginning of everything. We didn't know that those Rwandan armies, Rwandan army and Ugandan army were coming to Congo so that they could be introduced in the Congo, and then they start plundering for the benefit of the West until we just woke up too late. It was too late. They were already inside the Congo, pushed by especially Bill Clinton, the United States of America. Those are the guys who drafted the plan. You need to escort Laurent Desire Kabila, pretending that you are helping him, you, Rwandan army and Ugandan army, so that Mobutu can be put away. Once you are inside the Congo, you are not going to come out. You'll stay in the Congo. We'll be providing you with weapons and security, every kind of technology. You must stay in the Congo and disturb the Congolese politics, economy, until we steal the minerals for as many years as we can. This is the reality we are facing in the Congo. Who's killing the Congolese people? Who's stealing the Congolese minerals? It's the Anglo-Saxon group presented by the United States of America politicians, the British politicians, and they know what they're doing. It's not a secret. Everybody speaks about that. It's not a secret. The United Nations is just a mafia. What is the United Nations? Is an entity the West uses, to pretend that they are peacekeepers. They come to you because they see that you've been at war for so long, you've been suffering, they come for peace. No, those are mercenaries trained to serve the West. They just give them United Nations uniform and blue helmet, but they don't come to you as your saviors. No, they come to maintain you in confusion. It's like they come to observe, to give every report to the West. But African leaders, I don't know how I'm going to describe them. They know that, but I don't know why they don't do anything to chase the United Nations. If you see the United Nations peacekeepers in your country, that means the beginning of confusion. They're the confusionists. They are not peacekeepers. African people should know that. For example, those are the guys who killed Lumumba. Who killed Lumumba? Who put Lumumba in house arrest? The United Nations. When they saw that Lumumba became very successful, very popular, that means we are losing the Congo. We are losing all the minerals. And two countries started now creating confusion in their offices abroad, the United States and Belgium. They say, let's attack the Lumumba government and put him away. If we send the NATO, NATO is like the armed forces of the West. It's going to give us a very bad image. But let's pretend to send the United Nations blue helmets, peacekeepers. When people, they see them, they will be happy to see that, oh, the Europe is bringing some people for peace in the Congo. Or what our fathers didn't know, they inserted the mercenaries, white mercenaries, wearing the uniforms of the United Nations peacekeepers to come to your country in order to activate confusion. When night comes, those are the guys who distribute weapons to each side, to the government and to the so-called rebels. They want to see you fight until you kill each other. That's what they did in the Congo. They put Lumumba in the house arrest, they killed him, and confusion starts until this day. So this is what we're experiencing in the Congo. There's too much confusion, but at least we know now the source of confusion. That's the thing I can tell you. Congo is not good, to cut a long story short.
That's very sad to hear, Very sad to hear. And thank you for coming on the page again. Thank you, our audience, for joining us. Please share this broadcast share this broadcast because we are expanding the page, we are rebranding, we are going global. A brief history about the page. We started this page in 2020, and I campaigned for the UPND government to remove the PF government. And fast forward to today, we have the UPND government in place, and a lot of things that we never expected to happen are happening, and I found myself, I've never been a UPND member, but I'm a certified human rights advocate for good governance. So I campaigned and advocated for the change to remove PF, and now we have UPND in power.
Okay.
UPND government, there are things that are happening. For me, since they came into power, somehow I had the sixth sense to foresee that this government is not what they promised the people.
Okay.
So myself, I've been advocating against this government for the last 2 years. And fast forward to today, I invited you here to share what your opinion or your thoughts, because there are three things that are happening in Zambia right now. One is the diminishing democracy in Zambia. We have our president who came in and he promised rule of law. Even when he's speaking in his speeches, he's always advocating for the rule of law.
Okay.
But last week we saw a bill that came in to say they want to introduce a law to regulate independent broadcasters such as myself. Now, myself, I campaigned for this UPND government, but if this law passes, this law of regulating independent broadcasters would mean that people who are using Zambian networks to say anything, even comment, a voice note, or even when I go live to talk about the president promised this, if anyone makes a comment, they are subject to prosecution unless they have a license. Now we know that those licenses, they will only give to people who support their cause. We are saying this because we are seeing high number of attacks. Just recently, one of our top musicians in Zambia was attacked by a UPND member because the musician's name is B-Flow. He's an advocate. In PF, he was advocating. He advocated for change of this. He's like me. Like B-Flow advocated for the change, and now he's speaking against the high price of midi meal and all the diminishing democracy. Now they want to violate a human right of freedom of speech, association, and they want to violate that right at a terrible time where, especially the youths, they are making money on social media. You know, if someone makes a video, doesn't matter, political, social media is a source of income to many youths. Many youths are making money as content creators. So it will mean that if this law is passed, it's going to take away that income from the youth. Myself, I was broadcasting almost 4 years. I've been broadcasting on this page, but the reason for my broadcast was not to monetize my page, but to help Zambia. But since this law came, they introduced this law to say they want to enact to regulate independent broadcasters. I sat down and I thought, I'm like, okay, so it's good for me because now I'm going to open my channels to a global platform where I can be talking about things that are affecting Africa and beyond. So I want to advise young people, if you are a person like me who is into politics, don't stop what you are doing. Just broadcast about other matters that affect Africa and beyond. The other thing I want to say is, you know, it's just sad. Anyway, I've already talked about this, so I'll leave the floor to you. This is the first point that I want you to talk about, the violation, taking away of independent broadcasting, interfering with that. And also we have the Zambezi force. We hear there's a, you know, there's a, the UPND government has a Gestapo kind of police now working in Zambia. So how can you relate these two scenarios to what has been happening in Congo, and what advice can you give to Zambians?
Okay, thank you so much. Let's start with the freedom of speech. Freedom to use your phone, your computer, anything you have to express yourself. It's a red flag. When you see a government, you know, preventing people from speaking through their phones, through their social media, that's a very bad sign. That means the government is preparing, something bad against the Zambian people. That means there is a kind of dictatorship being put in place slowly but surely. And as every dictator fears to see people who know the truth and people who speak freely, because the behavior, the philosophy of a dictator is to do everything in his power to not to lead people, to rule them by force, by grabbing every benefit from those people so that he can keep them for himself or share them with his partners inside the country or outside the country. And he knows very well that people will be complaining. And the more people complain, the more the world is going to get informed about what he's going to be doing. And to prevent that, every dictator put some measures in place already. And they know that today, if you try to see traditional media like national TVs, national radios, they are not as powerful as they were yesterday. A lot of people, they don't follow those mainstream media anymore because they know that they are owned by the government. They tell people rubbish. They praise the president who does nothing. They praise people who are there to steal money. You know, people, they prefer to be on TikTok, Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, Instagram, and so on and so forth. And now the power is there. Very good exchange. The dialogue is on social media. And as a dictator, every dictator they want to make sure that they prevent people from using those tools because they want to keep people in a state of ignorance, number one. Number two, they want to instill fear in the people. If you try to read, there's a book, The Prince, that was written by the same French Machiavelli. It's about politics. At a certain place, Machiavelli wrote this. He was trying to explain to the world the art of becoming a dictator. And at a certain place, in one paragraph, he wrote that a dictator doesn't seek your love. A dictator knows that you don't love him, you don't like him. He doesn't need you to love him. He knows that you and him, you'll be not lovers at no point in life. But he wants you to start fearing him. What he needs from you is your fear. He knows very well these people, they don't like me, but I must make sure that they start fearing me so that I can rule them by force. This is my ideology. period. And that is what is going on in many countries. And unfortunately, we're not trying to follow the news. Dictatorship is being implemented in Zambia slowly but surely. And this is not my first time to be on the show with you. I was on the show with you twice, I think, in the past. What made me come to your show, if you remember very well? Can you remember? How did you come to know me?
It was after, you know, HH signed the Memorandum of Understanding.
Yes.
Yes.
When HH signed with the United States of America, the Memorandum of Understanding, and HH was getting into the lithium deal, these precious minerals. Do you remember the precious minerals that can be used to make electric batteries for new cars? You see, that's what I was like, come on, how come this guy is a Zambian president? How can he jump and get into the Congo? Except that he'll be like a broker. When they steal lithium from the Congo, the lithium will be treated in Zambia. As an African leader, a brother, a neighbor, he wouldn't accept that. How come this guy, HH, we were respecting in the Congo too much, accepted that deal? I started questioning myself. Is he a good guy, or is just as every other rubbish leaders we see in the world? And then I started following the news. I read a lot of notes. Can you imagine? In Congo, people have been killed for 25 years. The same superpowers who pretend to be the teachers of democracy have been using Rwandan mercenaries and Ugandan mercenaries to get into the Congo, to push people from their towns and villages, to kill them, to rape women and girls so that they can have access to our minerals. This is the main point. And they've been stealing from the Congo for 25 years. That's in the eastern part of the Congo. Now, their plan is to get into the Congo and start stealing from the southern part of the Congo, which is the northern part of Zambia. They've been looking for allies. A lot of presidents, they are not ready to do that dirty job. When HH allowed the United States to sign a memorandum of understanding, allowing them to put US barracks in Zambia, can you imagine? I came to you. I said, ladies and gentlemen, open your eyes. This is gonna be the beginning of a mess. That president is opening Zambia to a future mess. You need to be careful. That's how it started in the Congo. Number one, that memorandum of understanding. I don't know if a lot of people read that already. It's just a set of conditions. They give you conditions. You need to deal with the US. Don't complain. They have every right to come to your country, to roam your country from east, west, north, south, free. They can do whatever they want. They can give you a large amount of money. They can dictate you how to use it. They want to make sure that you're not going to build schools to strengthen your economy. They're going to encourage you to steal that money so that in the end, Zambia is going to have a lot of debt in front of these so-called international institutions. And before you sign a memorandum of understanding, a good president should convene the parliament, first of all, and the Senate. You present that bill. There's a problem have been called by the US. They want us to sign a memorandum of understanding. So Zambian MPs should debate in parliament to see how Zambia would benefit with this thing. After the parliament, I don't know, do you have a Senate in Zambia?
Oh my God, it's there, but it's highly compromised.
Yes.
It's
after the MPs,
yeah.
the parliament, they should send that project to the Senate. And then in the end, those two chambers, the lower and higher chambers, they should sit and give the final decision, because those people they represent the Zambian people. If the Zambian people, they say yes, you can accept that American base should be put in Zambia, and you can go get money outside, you can do this. If Zambian people, they say yes, it's yes. If they say no, period. That thing is garbage. But how come HH, as a lot of bad presidents we have in Africa, dictators, he didn't introduce that plan, that project to the Zambian parliament, even to the Zambian Senate? That means
No.
it doesn't respect the Zambian people. That was a very bad sign, according to me. I saw in that guy a dictator who was coming slowly but surely. And plus the problem of taking the Congolese lithium. Congo being a very big country, we have a lot of space. How can't you take our lithium and go work on that, transform it into batteries in Zambia? Do we lack space in the Congo? For instance, we have a huge country. You can take them from the ground, you put your transformation plant over there, you make the batteries in the Congo. You put just batteries for electric cars made in the Congo. Why can't you do that? They want it to be done, to be processed outside the Congo. Why? And the guy who called them is the United States of America, how do they call it? State Secretary, I think. Secretary of State. Is like a minister of foreign affairs in many countries. The same guy, Anthony Blinken, his name, he moves around the world a lot. He's the one who implements the US foreign policy wherever he goes. That means when the White House want to implement, they create a foreign policy for your country. Who's gonna go implement that? It's Anthony Blinken now, because he's the Secretary of State. He's like the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He takes it, he goes and talks to your president and your politicians, and they start implementing that in your country. And most of the time, they do it by force. They don't negotiate with countries. They dictate. That's why if we try to follow the news, if you go to Niger, for instance, the new authorities in Niger, West Africa, they closed the French military base. They are closing now, as I'm speaking, the US military base is being closed. They chased the French ambassador, and they gave reasons, saying that the presence of these people are the beginning of the creation of jihadists. Who are the jihadists? All those Western bases scattered around the world. They are places where they train mercenaries. And then they seek the closest base to your country is that one. The mercenaries called jihadists will be coming from that base. They send them a short distance to your country to start disturbing you so that you cannot develop in anything, so that they can control you. The aim is to control your country from A to Z. You see, economically, politically, on every aspect. Authorities in Niger, they understood that. They say, this is our country. Either you like it or not, superpower or not, that's not our business. Close that thing, please. How come people in the Congo, that has always been my question. How come Congolese authorities, they don't have the gut to close the US embassy, for instance? Do you know that war which is being perpetrated in the Congo, the creator of that war are American politicians, not the American people. You see, there's a difference between the American people and the American politicians. America is a great country. country of freedom. We don't have any problem with American people because in most of the cases, the American people, they're ignorant. If you try to speak to the American people, they don't know many things which are being done outside. But the politicians, they're like, we didn't know, we didn't know, we didn't know. You see, because they are being given a good life. If you give a good life to your people, they sing, they dance, they play, they forget about everything happening around. They think that everybody's happy in the world, you see. Or, for sure, some people are suffering because of the US negative foreign policy. I was saying that the same US Secretary of State can go to the Congo, not to sign a good agreement to bring back peace in the Congo first. He knows that America gives weapons to Kagame and Museveni to attack the Congo, to disturb the Congo so that they can steal our minerals for free. He knows that. But he has the gut to go to Congo pretending as if he doesn't know anything. He goes to sign an agreement with the current president of the Congo and HH. Can you imagine? To deal with the lithium. America is going to take this percentage. Congo is going to remain with this percentage, and everything will be processed in Zambia. How come? HH agreed. African president accepting that the stealers, the thieves, could go to Congo, steal the lithium, take more than 80%, leave the Congolese people with less than 10%, and everything will be processed in HH country. It's like you are allowing the thieves to come and use your country. As Kagame and Museveni, they have accepted those Western thieves to use Rwanda and Uganda to create mercenaries to go kill people in the Congo and steal the minerals. HH also, by accepting the signing of that thing, that's why I came to you for the very first time. Do you remember what I told you? Zambian brothers and sisters, you'll be in trouble pretty soon. Very soon you'll be in trouble if you don't open your eyes big. Open your eyes. That was a red flag. That's what I said in the first program, I think, when you invited me on the show for the very first time. I said, open your eyes. We've been going through that negative experience for many years. So we don't need our fellow African brothers to go through the same negative experience. We didn't know anything because they started in the Congo. We had no clue. They pretended to come to the Congo to help us, we are brothers, until the same brothers have been killing us for 25 years. Now we know. We are smart as Congolese people. We can advise the Zambian people that, hey, please, if you see that side, don't do that. If you see that one, don't agree, because we know they've been doing that in the Congo for many years. That's why when I came to your show last time, I said it's a red flag. The implementation of American base in your country, they give you a lot of money for no reason. Your parliament doesn't say anything. The Zambian Senate doesn't know anything. Your president is going to sign agreements all over the world so that they can transport Congolese lithium being processed in Zambia. Come on. There will be a war between Congo and Zambia pretty soon if we don't open our eyes very well. That guy is a businessman. He's not a statesman. You're president. Open your eyes. That's what I said. And today, I think a lot of people are going to give me a reason. A very bad sign is what? He has now started fighting what? The social media, to prevent you from seeing and from speaking, because he's deciding that guy, according to him, is not ready to stop. It's a project, a plan. He got money from the West. 1,300,000,000, I don't know, thousand, a lot of money. I don't know what he did with that money in Zambia. Did you see any change in Zambia? It's up to you to answer. Why did he get that money? Who allowed HH to go get that such a huge amount of money? 1 billion and I don't know, a lot of hundreds, thousands behind. Why? If you try to ask that question, they're gonna arrest you, kick your ass, put you in jail. I don't know what they're gonna do to you. Already, Zambia has contracted a debt that cannot be explained. You see, that's how they buy some unpatriotic African president. You owe them. Before they start making you work every dirty job for them, they must make sure that you owe them something. We gave you a lot of money, pretending that is for Zambia. That was your money to work with us, to buy weapons, to make sure you create parallel government. You know what they do? They want to make sure that you create a parallel government that's going to be working underground. All decisions will be taken not in Zambian parliament, not in the Zambian Senate. They'll be taken by another government. That's why I was not astonished when it came to me when I was reading the news. I called you, sister, what is the Zambezi police? What is that? Don't you have Zambian police? Zambian police is now Zambezi police? Can you imagine? Do you remember what I said?
It's
this is
crazy.
a parallel power. That means all the power is going to be given to another, that's an underground government. And you need to make all you can, Zambian people, to stop that. No damage has been done to the Zambian, to the Zambia yet. There's still too much time, Zambian people, to save your country. For the Congo, it's very complicated today because we didn't know what these guys they wanted to do. They were lying to us. You can sit with those guys. You can sign 1,000 agreements, but nothing's going to change in your country. Congolese presidents, they sat with Kagame, Museveni, in Addis Ababa, Lusaka agreement, South Africa agreement, Tanzania agreement. They're gonna make you sit everywhere in the world, pretending that they want peace in your country. They're just playing with your mind. So before, don't let that thing come to you. Get into your country, please. You have the power to stand up and say no. A good way to do that is to make sure that HH is out of power as soon as possible. That Zambezi thing, the parallel police forces, according to what I read, is like a Gestapo, as you said, the Nazi people. It's a force that will be punishing Zambian people, getting into your houses at night, beating you up, killing you, to terrorize you. They want to make sure that all of you shut up. The boss is doing his job, not by pleasing the Zambian people, not for the benefit of the Zambian people, for the benefit of the people who gave him a lot of money already. As he accepted to take that money without giving any report to the Zambian parliament, asking, where is that money, man? Show us, where is that money? Because he's not going to pay back that money. The same America tomorrow, even after 5, 10, even 15 years, they're not going to be saying that HH owes us this amount of money. No, they'll be saying Zambia owes us 1 million, 1 billion, blah, blah, blah. That means he takes the money, but he's not going to pay back. It's Zambia that's going to pay back. That means he has a lot of things to hide. That came to my understanding. HH has a lot of stuff to hide from you Zambian people. That's why he created is trying to put in place a system to shut you down, to put you like in a house arrest. And they always fear freedom of speech. Because Zambian people will be speaking. How is he going to prevent you from speaking? He's going to attack your phones, your laptops, your computers. And for sure, he knows that 60% of Zambian people is youth, I think. They're young people. You know, those are new people, new generation. They are connected to the world. They follow the news on their phones. They don't sit to see ZNBC every time. They don't care about what ZNBC is going to play. He's going to sing the praise of HH. He's a good president. Constituency, he built this. These are lies. The youth, they follow what is happening outside Zambia as a referral model. If they want to do anything in Zambia to change their country, they'll take the example of Mali, Burkina Faso, you see, Niger, and dictators they fear. That's why they want to shut down your internet system so that you stay stupid. They start feeding you up with every kind of stupidity, singing for them and dancing. President, by HH, those are stupidities. And the Zambian people, as I said, 60% of Zambian people I try to read online, it's made up of youth. That is major fear. Young people, they cannot bow down and tell you, boss, kick our ass, kill us. No. There will be a revolution in Zambia. And before I finish this chapter, I heard that some Zambian parliamentarian people, MPs, they are complaining, and some are ready to go to war against that Zambezi police unit. That is a tribal unit, as far as I know. It's made up with people from HH tribe. You know, he's trying to tribalize the Zambian politics. And according to my understanding, what I read, those people, they belong to the minority in Zambia. They belong to the minority.
Yes.
Yes. That's how the West operates in Africa. They use people from the minority. Those tribes are the minorities. They use them to control the majorities. They give too much power to small tribes in a country so that they can control you, the majority. They always fear to leave the power in the hands of the majority, a tribe which is the majority in a country. If you try to see the policy, foreign policy, that's what they do everywhere in the world. The very good example, if you know what is happening in Rwanda, it's the same. Tutsi people, the Kagame's people, they are 10% of the Rwandan population. They are controlling 90% of the Rwandan population. Kagame belongs to the Tutsi. The Tutsi are 10% of the population. The Hutu are 90%. And who are the Hutus? The Hutu are Bantu. Muhutu, Muntu, Bantu. They are like you and me. The Kagame people, they came from the north of Africa. Their ancestors, they came from the north, from Ethiopia, Somalia, and some other countries. That's why if you see, if you try to look even their faces, they're different from us. They're not from the Bantu roots. So the West, they are using those people because they came late in history. They came to join Rwanda late, you know. They're using them by giving them too much power so that those people, they could control the huge majority of the Hutu people. And HH, by implementing that Zambezi police force, I don't know, unit, I don't know how you call it, is already practicing. You want to play the same game, giving too much power to the minority so that they can control the majority of people in Zambia who are the Bembas, I think. Who are the majority in Zambia? The Bemba.
So the largest tribe is the Bemba speaking, and then Tonga is next.
Yes.
So
Bemba
the largest
and Tonga
is the Bemba, and then Tonga, and then we have Lozi, and then in the
HH
eastern,
is the Tonga.
Yes.
Yes. He's trying to play that game to give too much power to those people. The perspective of
Okay, so yeah. You are on mute?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Somebody called me again.
Yeah. Yeah, so welcome guys. We are here with the Uncle Mark Lushinga giving us his take on the current situation in Zambia. Specifically, he just talked about the pending implementation enacting of the independent broadcasting law. They want to introduce licenses, and also that would mean curtailing on the freedom of speech. And we are also talking about the Zambezi force. Everything we are talking here is online. There is not a private, is not a secret. So you can see Comrade Lushinga here, is based somewhere in the USA, but is able to read all this information is online. So we are here to talk and just, share information, because Comrade Mark comes from the Congo, and he has a lot of history to share of what Congo has gone through, and we can learn from the Congo. Yes. So we have one more topic, and we should be able to close. So the last topic is matters affecting Zambia and the Congo border. But I think before we got disturbed, you were talking about the Zambezi force.
Yes. Okay, before I finish this thing, I heard some of your MPs saying that, no, now we're going to stand up and fight that special Zambezi police unit, so that in the framework of defending ourselves. According to me, that's not a good idea. HHS, he has power. Either you like it or not, he's the president. He's controlling the police, the army. He knows how to harm you. Anytime he can trick you. He can put something in place to trap you, and then you're gonna be the victims. That's what they did in Rwanda. What did Kagame do? He knew that I cannot get into power because I belong from the minority. But with the help of Bill Clinton and the US strategists, they created the genocide. That means Kagame allowed his people to be killed so that the guilt could be given to the majority, 90% of people, Hutu. And then the so-called international community came into play to weaken the Hutu people and give too much power to the minority, the Kagame's people, forever and ever. No democracy in Rwanda. If you open your mouth, either you have good intentions or not, you are a genocidaire. You killed us in 1994. 800,000 people were killed. You are one of them. They threatened you, you run away or they kill you. That's what they're doing. That's why I say in Zambia, please, do not attack the Zambezi police unit. They're gonna shout. They're gonna create a kind of random situation. They're gonna play the victims. We are hated the rest of the Zambian people. We are hated because we belong to this tribe, because we belong to the presidential tribe. They hate us. International community, they want to finish us. And then the same guys who are implementing that separation of tribes, they'll support the people from that Zambezi police unit, a parallel underground unit. They're going to present them to the world, to the United Nations, as an endangered species of people, endangered tribe in Zambia. You see, they have too much power, too much money. They'll be singing on CNN, BBC, everywhere. There's a tribe in Zambia that's in danger because the majority of Zambian people, they hate them. And then they're going to introduce a very huge gap in Zambia. You'll be hating. One of the strategies is to make sure that Zambian people, you hate one another. If you hate one another, there will be no alliance, political alliance to push HH outside. It's smart too. That's why he's using that Zambezi small unit to do every negative things against you. And then when you try to defend yourselves, you kill even one person, he's gonna take it as an advantage as president to present to the world that there is tribalism, people are killing each other, we're gonna punish them, finish. They're gonna divide you. There'll be no political alliance to weaken HH 1 year, 2 years from now. Don't kick the ass of those people. Leave them alone. They are not your enemies. They're just hungry people with no money, no political perspective, no wisdom, nothing. They're just being paid. They're poor people. Leave them alone. That movement is gonna die on its own. Your big enemy is the master who's using those people. The guy who created that so-called Zambezi Special Force Unit is the enemy. Let not that guy divide you. He's playing the division game. That's a political strategy. Don't hate those guys. They're ignorant. They're brothers and sisters. Protect them. Speak to them gently that we need Zambia. We don't need to fight each other, to fight one another. That's not good. Our enemy is the guy at the State House. He has introduced a negative kind of politics in Zambia. He needs to go. When he goes, that Zambezi unit is going to die on its own. You see, strategy. And then Zambia Congo border. There's too much happening. But the only thing I want you to know is there are some people, according to our latest information, who have been using Zambia with a project, a plan to attack the Katanga province. And they had a meeting in Lusaka on the 5th of this month, March, one Tuesday. The so-called rebels, they want to get into Katanga and to proclaim Katanga as an independent state with the help of some Rwandan mercenaries. Some mercenaries who are gonna come from Rwanda. That's what they told us. A lot of secret services, they know about what I'm saying. And they couldn't get into Zambia, especially get into Lusaka, the capital city of Zambia, and sign any kind of agreement without the Zambian government knowing about that. You know, we are not saying that the Zambian government knows about that. No, we don't have any proof that the Zambian government knows about that. That's why we are trying to inform the Zambian government. If you didn't know, some people are using your territory to mount up, to put in place a rebel movement that's going to attack the Katanga province very soon and make of Katanga a state, a free state. And what is Katanga? Katanga is like copper belt. And they told us a lot of people have been crossing the borders already, coming from Zambia and getting into Congo, using the Luapula province, infiltration. So Zambia as a territory is being used by those people. And the training camp is in Bulawayo in Zimbabwe. After being trained in Zimbabwe, they leave Zimbabwe, they get into Zambia, and then heading to Katanga. I'm not accusing any government. I'm informing you guys so that you can open your eyes. Because if they succeed, the very sad part of the story is they're involving the Rwandan soldiers, the same Rwandan guys who've been killing the Congolese people for 25 years and stealing the minerals in the Congo. How come those same guys who've been killing the Congolese people can help other Congolese from Katanga to get into Katanga and make Katanga a free state? Can you imagine? This is stupidity. How can you go to the same guys who've been killing you, you Congolese people, Katanga people? You go to the Rwandan people, the Ugandan people have been killing you for 25 years as Congolese to seek support so that they can help you coming from outside, getting into Katanga and proclaim Katanga a free state. And you think those Rwandan people enjoying the support of the Anglo-Saxon powers, they will leave you Katanga, a very rich province like that? No. They're going to use you as they use Laurent Desire Kabila to get into the Congo, and then they will stay in the Katanga to control Katanga and kill all of you around and stay with Katanga in their hands. Everything they're trying to do, we have understood. Because we are analysts, they want to transfer the war, which is in the eastern part of the Congo, to the southern part. Because their dream has always been to open a way, a corridor at the south of Katanga, of Congo, where there is a rich province, Katanga, so that they create a mess and start exploiting it. But they need some partners. Who are the partners? The so-called Katanga independence guy. You see, that's what I wanted to tell you. And I think when I get too much information, I'll be back with that.
Well, thank you very much. That is very important information. I hope, this is the kind of information where if you get it and you sit on it, and if something happens, then you regret for the rest of your life, And we are here not to alarm everyone, but we are here to alert people, because Katanga is in the southern part of Congo, which is the borders of Luapula and Copper Belt provinces in Zambia.
Yeah.
So if there is any, an instability in those regions, the people living in the Copper Belt and Luapula are going to be affected.
To be affected one way or another, either we like it or not.
Yes.
The confusion, the trouble, insecurity, the killing, the raping. They're going to transfer it from Congo to Zambia.
Yes, we're going to see a lot of refugees coming in through the borders.
Millions of people, they're going to run away.
Yeah.
And the aim is to control the copper-rich province, Katanga and Copper Belt.
God forbid.
Remember, already Big Brother is among you inside.
Yeah. God forbid.
The mercenaries will be coming from your country in the dark.
God forbid. Yes. God forbid. But Zambians are alert. Already there is the UKA Alliance, where presidents and parties, they are consolidating and reinforcing, joining voices to ensure that HH does not continue in his next term of office, 2026. Yes. So I think in closing,
this is a very huge asset.
Yes.
Concentrate on that. Do not divide yourselves into tribe and this. This is going to be just loss of energy, distraction. Concentrate on the guy who's in the White and the State House.
Yes.
That's
and I think
enemy number one is that guy, because it's the guy who's implementing, who's putting a bad system in your country.
He's the commander, and he is not consulting.
He has the power
everyone.
to say yes or no.
Yes.
If he's leaving those Zambezi police unit
and he's
to get to be powerful because he wants it.
He's
you see,
running the country like a dictator. You know,
no, he's a
completely
businessman.
bypassing the
He's a businessman. He's running your country as his company.
Yeah. And in Zambia, we are going to 60 years of independence. We have fought to reach here. And we are just not going to lose our democracy just like that because of the greed of a few people. And the economy is really harsh. You know, the cost is just terrible what has happened in Zambia. It's a disaster. So thank you for watching. And last words before we go, and then we can sign off.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. I think this is not the end. I need to gather some information about what is going on in our region. About what I said, some people they've been using the Zambian territory with the idea to attack the Katanga region with the help of some Rwandan mercenaries. And they signed an agreement, as I said, on the 5th of this month, March. That was one Tuesday in Lusaka. Please, Zambian government, try to investigate and see what's going on, because it's not only Katanga, a province in the Congo, that's going to be affected if those guys succeed their plan. Because the plan is what? It's not because they love us, they want to help us. No, they want to destabilize the whole region, which is rich in minerals, period. They want to steal as much as they can before they sit now to sign peace agreement. Thank you so much. I think
thank you so much, comrade. We are happy to have you. We'll be here and we'll be watching the situation closely, and we'll be reporting. And thank you, everybody. Follow, like, share this page. We are now global, Africa and beyond. The world has united, and we thank God for social media. That's why they want they want licenses in Zambia.
They're not going to succeed. We're gonna fight them until they fail their mission.
Oh yeah, you know, like what has the world? What's happening in the world is like a river. You can't go against the like River Congo flows from.
Yeah.
You cannot go opposite. Zambezi River flows from north to south.
Yeah.
You cannot flow against the current, otherwise you drown. So
it's like a forest fire. You cannot stop it.
Yeah.
It's gonna burn everything.
Exactly. Exactly. When it has come, it has come.
No one can stop the truth.
Yes.
Nobody can stop the truth.
Yes.
Especially when the time has come.
It's like having a baby.
No one is gonna stop.
It's like having a baby, you know? When you are pregnant, with the time to come the baby, even if you don't
gonna come out.
The baby will come out, even if you are not pushing, it will push itself out.
Yes. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Good to see you, Anik. All right, bye.